Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। हरे कृष्ण। Please accept my humble obeisances, all the devotees on the call. Please forgive me for stopping your chanting in the middle. It's time for Srimad Bhagvatam session. Before we proceed to the session, I would like to read a quote by Srila Prabhupada on chanting of holy names of the Lord. Absolute means the name mango and the mango thing is the same. Otherwise, what is the use if they are different? Then what is the use of chanting Krishna? Krishna. Chanting means Krishna, this word, and Krishna, the person, the same. Therefore, by constant chanting means constantly associating with Krishna, then we are becoming purified. Purified, there is no difference. One should know the offenseless chanting means remembering the form. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranams to all the devotees on the call once again. May I know who all have joined the call?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Danvat Pranam, Shri Prabhupada ki Jai, Guru Maharaj ki Jai. This is Shamarasi Kativadasi from Jammuntown, Maryland.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining.
Hare Krishna. Then pranam to all the devotees. So I am Tarun and joining from Delhi, India. Please accept my humble obeisances.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat pranams. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. This is Pooja from Sydney.
Hare Krishna Puja Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining Mataji. Anyone else would like to introduce? Hare Krishna. Thank you all so much once again for joining. I welcome all to Everyday Chant Harinam group. Today we are very fortunate to have his guest Tarun Prabhu from Delhi to enlighten us on verse 19 of chapter 19 from Canto 6. Prabhuji, once again my humble obeisances to you. Please start the session whenever you are ready.
Yes. So thank you, Mataji, and thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak on Srimad Bhagavatam. So hopefully I will be able to serve you properly. So today we'll be discussing from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 90, Canto 6, Chapter 19, Verse 19 and 20. So I'll share my screen. So is my screen visible? Can you all see the verse?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So the verse is Vishnurvratam idam vibran na vihanyat kathanchana vipran striyo virvatis sragandha bali mandane archet ahar ahar bhaktya devam niyamam asthita udvasya devam svedhamni tanniveditam agrata adyadatma vishuddhyartham sarva kama samriddhaye. So word by word translation: Vishnu, of Lord Vishnu, Vratam, vow, Idam, this, Vibrat, executing, no, not, Vihanyat, should break, Kathanchana, for any reason, Vipran, the Brahmanas, Striya, women, Virvati, who have their husband and sons, Srak, with garlands, Gandh, sandalwood, Bali, offerings of food, Mandane, and with ornaments, Archit, one should worship daily, Bhaktya, with devotion, Devam, Lord Vishnu, Niyamam, the regulative principles, Asthita, following, Udvasya, placing, Devam, the Lord, Sway, in his own, Dhamni, resting place, Tat, to him, Niveditam, what was offered, Agrata, after dividing first among the others, Adyat, one should eat, Atma Vishuddhi Artham, for self purification, Sarvakam, all desires, Samriddhaye, for fulfilling. Translation: we don't have any purport, so translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. One should accept this Vishnu Vrat, which is a vow in devotional service, and should not deviate from its execution to engage in anything else. By offering the remnants of prasad, flower garlands, sandalwood pulp, and ornaments, one should daily worship the Brahmanas and worship women who will peacefully live with their husbands and children. Every day, the wife must continue following the regulative principles to worship Lord Vishnu with great devotion. Thereafter, Lord Vishnu should be laid in his bed and then one should take prasad. In this way, husband and wife will be purified and will have all their desires fulfilled. Om Agyantimirandasya Gyananjanashalakaya Chakshurinmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapad Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Segan Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Segan Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नमः ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे Hare Krishna. So I would again like to welcome and thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak from Srimad Bhagavatam. It's my pleasure and I'm highly obliged that you all are giving me this opportunity. So today what we are reading is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 19, Canto 6, Chapter 19, text 19 and 20. So here what the context is that Diti, who is the mother of all the Daityas or demons, wants to observe a vow to beget a son who will be able to kill Indra. You would have been hearing this pastime where Diti wants to beget a son who will be able to kill Indra. Why? Why does she want a son who should be able to kill Indra? Will anyone like to tell? Okay, Diti wants because of Indra, Lord Vishnu appeared and had killed both of her sons, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. Because the position of Indra was in danger, he was actually made servant of Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. So Lord Vishnu appeared first in the form of Varadev and he killed Hiranyaksh, and then he appeared as Narsinghdev to kill Hiranyakashipu. So both the sons of Diti were killed, and she considered Indra to be the cause of it. And that is why she wanted a son who should be able to kill Indra. Although Indra is the son of her co-wife. Diti's co-wife is Aditi. Both have same husband, Kashyap Muni. And Diti and Aditi are co-wives. But she was so much jealous and envious of Indra that she actually wanted to kill her co-wife's son. So he was like his stepmother. Still, he wanted to kill Indra, and for that, first she very faithfully served Kashyap Muni. She was serving Kashyap Muni very faithfully, and in the end, Kashyap Muni was very much satisfied. And then he asked that, "What do you want? You are serving me so nicely that I will fulfill all your desires. I will fulfill all your boons." And then Diti proposed this proposed her desire that I want a son from you who will be able to kill Indra. And then when Kashyap Muni heard this, then he was astonished and he was thinking that what kind of woman are you? You you are you just pleased me to beget a son to perform such a heinous act, and then he later agreed and then told that okay but if you want to kill Indra, then first you have to observe of observe some austerities which are known as Pumsavan Sanskar, where there were so many rules and regulations that you would have heard in the previous chapter, and in this chapter also we are hearing, and today also we are reading that one should not go out of the house without bathing, one should eat after the Lord is rested, and so many things were there. It was a very strict vow. It was a very strict ritual, that samskar, Pumsavan samskar. And he told that if you observe this fast properly, then you will beget a son that will kill Indra. But if there is some mistake in observance of this fast, then what will happen? That then your son will become a dear friend of Indra. So she said, okay, I'll observe this fast with full attention and with full care. And she was observing it very nicely. But once, because she was observing fast and she was doing austerities, so she became weak and she fell asleep after eating without washing her hands. And Indra, what he did, he had understood that Diti is performing such kind of fast, such kind of ceremony. This Pumsavam Samskar she is performing, and he disguised himself as Diti's maidservant, and he was waiting for an opportunity that there will be some lapse, and he will immediately corrupt her. So when he saw that lapse, that Diti has fallen asleep without washing her hands, which is one of the conditions of Pumsavan Samskar, he immediately entered into her womb. And with the help of his thunderbolt, he had cut that embryo into 7 pieces. But still, that embryo was 7 pieces of embryo were alive. Then he again took his thunderbolt and again attacked those 7 embryo pieces, and again they multiplied into by 7. So total they became 49. And then still he was astonished that his thunderbolt is not able to kill those embryos. And then he understood that there is some hand of Lord Vishnu. And then those embryos also prayed and told that, oh Indra, please don't kill us. We are your friends. And then when Indra came out, and then those maruts, those 49 embryos were 49 maruts, so they also came out, and Diti saw them, and then they told that we are actually friends of Indra. And then Indra also pacified Mother Diti, and she was also happy. And then Maruts and Indra were very dear friends. So this everything what she was observing was Pumsavam Samskar. So if we just discuss a little bit about samskaras, right? Samskaras are kind of rituals. Like when we are celebrating birthday of someone, we have some ritual that we sing happy birthday to you. We cut cake. Now cutting a cake and having a birthday, if you see logically, there is no link. But cutting a cake brings that festive mood. Right? Everyone is singing happy birthday to you. So there is a festive mood. There is some ritual. Similarly, when two people meet, then they shake their hands, and within ISKCON, when we are meeting, we say Hare Krishna to each other. So it's a ritual. So in day-to-day life, we follow so many rituals. We like even in our bhakti, we are following so many rituals that we wake up at 4:30, we perform Mangala Arati, Tulsi Arati, Shikshashkam, then we chant our rounds, we are hearing Bhagavatam. So there are all rituals that we are doing. But when spirit is added to that particular activity, then that ritual becomes spiritual. So spirit is the most important thing. Otherwise, if we're just chanting, we're just murmuring, it's like mechanical chanting. If there is no spirit in our chanting, then that becomes a ritual. That I have given a vow to my spiritual master to chant 16 rounds. That is why only I'm chanting. I don't like to chant, but because I've given that vow, that is why I'm chanting. It is good. It is good that we are doing that activity, but most important is to understand the spirit and act accordingly. Then that ritual becomes spiritual. Similarly, whatever activity we are doing, most important is the attitude. Prabhupada in NOI writes that progress of the follower depends upon the attitude of the follower. So progress in bhakti depends on the attitude of the follower. So if we are performing our activities with the right purpose, with the right attitude, then those activities become spiritual. And these samskaras are basically the impressions on a soul. If we see that samskar, there are total 16 samskaras in our scriptures that are recommended in a person's lifespan, that one that should be performed. And samskaras start even before the soul comes into the body, and they end after the soul leaves the body. So if we just compare with, if we see, the samskar start even before the soul has entered into the body, and they are performed even after the soul has left his body. Like Garbhadan samskar, that is performed even before the soul has entered the body. When husband and wife decide that we want to get a child, then they perform Garbhadan samskar. So what Prabhupada has recommended, that both husband and wife should chant 50 rounds. So they engage in the act in a proper attitude. Because it is not for sense enjoyment. Krishna says, Kamosmi, that I am the sex desire that is done as per the scriptures, as per the religious principles. So begetting a Krishna conscious child is not about having sense gratification. It is about bringing a pure soul into the world who will be able to serve the Lord and go back to Godhead. So for this first samskar that is recommended is Garbhadan samskar. It is even before father and mother, male and female, unite. So the first samskar is performed even before the child is born, or the soul enters the body. And final is Anteshti samskar. And that samskar is performed after the soul leaves the body. Why? So that he or she doesn't become a ghost. They don't wander, and like even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had performed Pindadan for his father. So he went to Gaya, and we can see that people go to Gaya or Prayag or Haridwar or some places to perform the final rites of their parents. So these samskaras are very important for the purification of soul. And like even before the conception, we have Garbhadan samskar. After the conception, we have Pumsavan samskar, which Diti is performing, and that is performed in the third month of pregnancy. So that is performed in the third month of pregnancy, where the desire is to beget a male child. And if even if it's a female, then the child with qualities of male, like the child is courageous. Even if it's female, that the child is courageous. There are leadership qualities and so on. Then in seventh month there is Simantonayanam. That is, Simant means the parting of hair, where the hair are parted, and it's very important because it's even as per science and scriptures. In the seventh month, the mind of the child develops. So there are two purposes. One is to have healthy mind, where there are some certain uh, what we can say, like spiritual impressions on the mind of the child. And second purpose is to protect the mother and child from evil forces, because there are certain evil forces that try to suck the blood of the mother in that time, at that time. So to protect mother and child at that particular time, Simanto Nenam Samskar is performed. And after that, as soon as the child is born, then Jat Karma is performed, where some mantras are chanting before cutting of the umbilical cord. And then later Namkaran is there, then Annaprashan Samskar is there, and Karna Bhedan Samskar is there. It different even then Chuda Karan, when the first time the Mundan is done or hair are removed from the child's head, and so on. And then after that, uh, the samskars to get to for having a better intellect for child are performed, like Upanan is there, Vidyaramb is there. And if we just analyze that, most of the samskars are done in first 5 years of the child. Most of them, like Garbhadan, Pumsavan, Simantonenam, Jat Karma, all the samskaras are done in first 5 months. Why? Can anyone guess why most of the samskars are done in first 5 months? Any guess?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
What you said,
Krishna,
what is the question?
why most of the samskaras are done in first 5 months, 5 years? Why the most of the samskars that we are doing, like Garbhadan, Pumsavan, Simantonenam, parting of the hair, Jat Karma, cutting of umbilical cord, Annaprashan, why they are, or Upanan or Vidyaramb? So many samskars are done in first 5 years. Most of them actually, out of 16, I think 9 to 10 are done in first 5 years.
Uh, because the soul is in learning stage, so that he can learn also, and that's the
Yes.
beginning of his life. So we can
Yeah.
nourish him in the sanskaras.
Yes. Yes. So samskar means impression. There are certain impressions. Like we can see that people, even from very young age, they pick up some skills. Like someone can sing very nicely, or they can play some instrument like mridanga, kartal very nicely. They wouldn't have learned, but they have some impressions from their last birth. Similarly, there'll be some bad impressions also in their mind, and to remove them, all the samskaras are done. That is the culture, that is a rich heritage that our Vedas are providing to us. That they perform certain samskaras, they perform certain ritualistic ceremonies for the purification of the mind. The purpose of samskaras is purification. Like whenever we get up in the morning, then even from our body there is some bad odor. From our mouth also we are we are not feeling fresh and those things. But we perform certain purificatory acts. We perform certain purificatory acts so that we are active and we can perform our daily duties very nicely. That is the purpose of morning purification activities. Similarly, samskaras are kind of purificatory activities which are done for the purification of previous bad impressions that the soul is carrying from past lives. And then, and what happens that when you are performing any sanskar, any ceremony, then brahmanas are invited, devotees are invited, elder elder members of the family are invited, lord is worshipped, yajna is performed. So all these ceremonies, you get blessings of devotees, you get blessings of lord from your elders, relatives. So all these things have a very strong impression on the mind of the child. These are very strong impressions on the mind of the child, and he or she remembers everything. That is why we are performing these samskaras. That is why our scriptures are recommending all these samskars, so that as and when the person is performing these samskars, and then later after this, then vivah samskar is there, and then he or she will be performing garbhadan for his or her child. So what happens that purification is there, and then it ultimately leads to the ultimate goal, that is to attain shelter of Lord. This is how our varnashrama is defined, and especially in grihasthashram, because all these samskaras may not have much importance in other ashrams. Like duties of every ashram is different. For example, brahmachari is asked not to have any bank account, but grihastha is asked to open a bank account. Brahmachari should be satisfied with whatever he is getting, but grihasthas are asked to accumulate because they will have necessities for maintenance of their livelihood, for their children and everything. They have to collect. But brahmacharis are asked not to collect anything. If you see the luggage of a brahmachari, it's very small, but grihasthas have big luggage. So duties are completely different. Because brahmacharis have completely dedicated themselves to the service of Lord. That is why there is a verse in Bhagvatam which says that such kind of people don't have any duties towards their ancestors, sages, demigods, or anyone, because they are fully surrendered. But grihasthas have to perform these samskaras because they have accepted the duty of bringing more people in the world. And if we are not performing these samskaras, then everyone is like Shudra. It's said in the scriptures, Kalo Shudra Sambhava. That in Kali Yuga, everyone is equivalent to Shudra. Everyone is a Shudra. Because there is no purificatory activities performed. Even if we see when Lord Krishna was born, at that time, Gargamuni had come to give name to the child. Right? There was Namkaran Sanskar. That was done. There was not a very big festival. It was a small festival where Nanda Maharaj had taken to the cow shed and he explained everything, and Gargmuni explained, and he told that your both the children are very special, and one will be named as Balram and other will be Krishna. But he had performed the Namkaran Sanskar. Similarly, if you see in the life of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his maternal grandfather Nilambar Chakravarti had performed the Samskar. So Samskar, these are very important. Otherwise, everyone is equivalent to Shudra in Kali Yuga if these are not performed. Even this performance of Upanayan, where the three threads, like we have Brahman Diksha. So what we have is we have three threads. So three threads have a significance. That is why we are having three threads. So one is for sages or rishis, second is for God, and third is for ancestors. Right? Whatever is our rin, what we can say rin towards them, that is to that those threads signify that one is for rishis, one is for God, and one is for ancestors. So everything in our spiritual life has a purpose, and everything is meant to purify our consciousness so that we can take complete shelter of the Lord. And if we are not performing, then whatever progeny we are having, then those will be similar to Shudras only. Because we have not performed Garbhadans, Pumsavan. Even if we see Kashyap Muni, he says that if you want to have son who wants to kill Indra, then you should perform this Pumsavam Samskar. Right? So these samskaras are very important to beget good children with a spiritual intellect. But in Kali Yuga, we all know that it's very difficult to follow all the rules and regulations so diligently. It's very difficult. Right? It's very difficult to follow all the rules and regulations that are mentioned. Actually, if we see whatever duties of Shudra are mentioned in Bhagavatam, even we will not be able to follow those duties. Like one of the duties, a Shudra is honest towards his master. But we all know that everyone wants to get an opportunity to cheat. Everyone is looking for an opportunity to cheat someone. So even people in Kali Yuga are lower than Shudras because Kali Yuga people cannot follow what even a Shudra is asked to follow. So people in Kali Yuga are already fallen, so much fallen. So what is the resort? Everyone is like Ajamil or Jagai Madai. Everyone is there. At that time, only one Ajamil was there, or only one Jagai Madai were there. But right now, we see everywhere there are Jagai Madai. So much chaos is there. So many sinful activities are going on every day in public. Even in media, we can see social media. So many nonsensical activities. So only resort is taking shelter of the holy name of Lord and accepting initiation from bona fide spiritual master. It is defined that a person who is born in the family of Brahmana is lower than a person who is born in the family of dog eaters but has accepted a bona fide spiritual master. What it means is that a Vaishnava is even above than a Brahmana. Maybe a Vaishnava is born in the family of a dog eater or Malecha or Chandal. Maybe that may be the case, but still he is even above than Brahmanas. And similar discussion had happened at the time of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, where he was invited in an assembly of Brahmanas, and there was a debate that who are better, uh, Vaishnavas are better or Brahmanas are better. And at that time, health of Bhaktivinoda Thakur was not good, so he told uh, Bhakti Siddhanta that my child, you should go. My health is not good, and he had so much faith in his child that he'll be able to defend Vaishnavas. And at that time, Bhakti Siddhanta went, so he divided his talk into three parts. First, he glorified Brahmanas. So all the Brahmanas got puffed up that yes, he's in our favor, he's in our party, and he's glorifying Brahmanas so much. Then he told the duties of Brahmanas, and everyone knew that what kind of duties they are following in the name of being a Brahmana. And then third, he glorified that how Vaishnavas are even above Brahmanas, that what are the qualities of Vaishnavas. And when he finished his talk, some of them were not happy, but most of them, they wanted to take the dust from his lotus feet. They were trying to snatch his dust. And then what happened? Then later someone picked him. He dipped his feet in water and then sprinkled the water everywhere. And such were the glories of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, where he proved that Vaishnavas are above Brahmanas. Just by accepting initiation from a bona fide spiritual master, a person, even though born in very low family, even though being engaged in so many sinful activities, can become even above Brahmanas. And we can see same thing had happened with disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada went to America, to West, and he transformed people who were breaking all the four regulative principles. But one quality that they had was they were faithful to Srila Prabhupada. They wanted to hear him, they wanted to please him. And still we can see like Rukmini Mataji is there, wife of Aniruddha Prabhu. So she is like, you can consider like a gulab jamun or rasgulla. That she has so much gratitude and love for Srila Prabhupada. Like I met her few times, and whenever she is talking on whatever topic you talk, she'll come back to Prabhupada and give a pastime related to that particular topic from the life of Srila Prabhupada. She has so much gratitude and love for Srila Prabhupada. And we can see similarly from the lives of Prabhupada's disciples that they have so much gratitude for Prabhupada that they 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 are just trying to serve like Jayapataka Maharaj. If we see from a material point of view, he's paralyzed. It's very difficult. One part of his body doesn't work at all. Still, he's extending himself so much. Why? Because they have that faith and love towards Prabhupada. And Prabhupada converted all these people who were engaged in so many sinful activities and brought them to the level of Vaishnavas. People who were not taking bath in 3 months. Once in 3 months, they are bathing 3 times daily. Those who are not wearing fresh clothes for 2 to 3 months, they are every day wearing dhoti kurta. They have shaven their head. Matajis are wearing saris. That is the transformation that a pure person can bring. So maybe so many samskaras were not performed, but because they had faith in the holy name, faith in Srila Prabhupada, their lives were transformed. Dina hina yate chilo, harinam udharilo, tara sakshi jagai madai. That Chaitanya Mahaprabhu delivered the most fallen people that were jagai madai. How? By chanting the holy names of Lord, by giving them harinam. He forgave him. So if we are able to get association of pure devotee, love matra sadhu sang sarv siddhi hoy. Maybe we so many samskaras were not performed for us. But if we are able to get association of pure devotee into our life, and we are able to associate and we are able to develop faith in the holy name, then our life is perfect. But this doesn't mean that we should not perform samskaras for future generations. Like since we have got this knowledge, so we should do whatever we can so that future generations are not born like Shudras. That we perform Garbhadhan Samskar, we perform Pumsavan, Simantonenam, and all these samskaras, because these samskaras will leave an unending impression on the minds of the soul. And then for them, taking to holy name, chanting holy name, taking to Krishna consciousness becomes very easy. And we can see from the lives of so many devotees like Krishna Kishore Prabhu, who is from Mayapuris. His mother was in the Sankirtan party, so she would be playing mridanga while traveling. And even when she was pregnant, she was still in this traveling Sankirtan party, and she was playing mridanga. And when Krishna Kishore Prabhu was born, he naturally had that talent. No one taught him these musical instruments, but we can see that how much expertise he has. Similarly, we can see that children of devotees, they are chanting shlokas very nicely. So beautifully they are chanting shlokas. They're reciting all the verses. It is very easy. Why? Because they have those impressions. The samskaras are performed, and those impressions are there on their mind. Their mind is purified. And when mind is purified, then it's very easy to grasp Krishna consciousness. So it's very important to perform all these samskaras. And most important for of them is to chant the holy name of the Lord. Right. So I would like to end because I have some other engagement today. So sorry, I have to cut it short. But thank you again for giving me this opportunity to share something from the samskars, because it's a very elaborate topic and so many things are there. But yeah, I would have to end. But is there any question or comment on this?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much for this wonderful class and about explaining about very nicely about the impressions and importance of the sanskaras on the child before its age of 5. and being so much busy, like you was mentioned, you have office today, go to work, but you
Yes.
gave us time. So thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. All goes to Prabhupada. It was such a nice class. I joined late. Nicely explained. How I was hearing about that thread. I didn't know that thread, the three meanings of the three. Jano threads are so nice.
Yeah.
For your kind of station. Please purify, come and purify us again and again. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, then I think we are good. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity. Hare Krishna. Srila
Yes,
Prabhupada ki
Jai.
jai.
Vanchakalpatarvyascha कृपा सिन्धुवेव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. नमाचार्य श्रीदास ठाकुर की जय. श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. His Grace तरुण प्रभु जी की जय. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, you did only 19 and 20 verse, right? Just want to confirm.
Yes, Mataji, yes. Yeah.
Okay. Hare
19.
Krishna.